Yo, what's going on, guys? Pegasus from the Wise Fire Alliance. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We can't do live duels for obvious reasons and the social climate. So we brought to you today an online duel. Today it's between me and a homie KD35. He's a really good player. I think he used to be in the top 25. Don't know really where he is now. But basically, this is DDD versus Adamancipator, and this is me bricking extremely hard. And no, I don't play All Mirage, therefore I just felt like, let me get this game over with. I could have maybe stacked my deck with the field spell, but after I really thought about it, nah, not really. So he activates Dark Contract to go get Swirl Slime. Swirl Slime is the card that helps him fuse out of the hand. So he's going to activate Swirl Slime and pitch Swirl Slime and a Savant Thomas to be able to special summon High Flame King Genghis, which this card helps him to summon back a card later on if another DD monster is normal or special summoned to his side of the field. So he normal summons Copernicus. Copernicus is like their Armageddon Knight. And with that effect, he's going to dump the Swirl Slime, the Necro Slime, excuse me. And then from there, he's going to pull back at the same time the Savant Thomas from the graveyard. So very combo-oriented deck. And the High Flame King Genghis is its OCG name, is a level 8, so it helps him make number 90, and number 90 helps him play completely, and I mean completely, around a Nibiru and other monster effects that may inhibit him. So as he goes on, he banishes Necro Slime and the Swirl Slime that he used in his hand earlier to summon out a regular Genghis, and then Genghis is going to help him summon on later. He's going to summon out DD Lamia by getting rid of the contract, and then from there he's going to summon out yet another card, and that card is Needle Fiber. From Needle Fiber's perspective, it's really good in this deck, and the Master Rule really helped this deck. I do feel like this deck is a real threat. It's still rogue, but it's a real threat in someone's hands that really knows what they're doing. So he uses the Needle Fiber, the Lamia, and the other card that he had to make Gilgamesh. And with the Gilgamesh, he's going to set his scales, which is a really powerful effect if you know how to set it up right. And so far, so good. He's really set it up right. If you want to know how to play DDD, or you would like an online profile, I can ask him for his profile, and he can definitely give you one, and we can co-host it together. But he's a really good, solid player, and he really knows what he's doing. So he activates the Ragnarok, the big Ragnarok guy, King Abyss Ragnarok. And I believe he goes on to activate the dog. I forget the thing's name, but it's the other scale. So one is a high scale, I guess. One is a low scale. So yeah, he goes on to grab Thoros, whatever its name is. Then he activates the other fusion spell, the Swamp card, Swamp King, to be able to fusion even more to further propagate his plays. I mean, this stuff goes on and on and on. He could keep digging and keep digging and keep digging, but he just goes for the Flame King Genghis to be able to pull back onto the field the other King Genghis. And then from there, he's going to overlay for a rank 6, and the rank 6 is High King Caesar, which helps him summon. And then when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated, it includes being able to special summon a monster. It helps him just completely block out any plays that I would have had on the next turn. So I maybe should have stacked my deck with the field spell, but dealing with number 90, I feel like it was just a bad look for me, and it wasn't going to go too well. And it was just time for me to get out of that game. He's a really good player, and I knew he wasn't quite done, and I just knew I couldn't win that game. Unless maybe I played All Mirage in my extra deck, but you know, that's kind of hit or miss, and even then I don't think that would have been nearly enough. So we go into the siding, and yeah, with the siding, it wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look in that game one. But this game obviously starts off, and we had a lot of table talk because I really do enjoy DDD, but it's been so long since I played it. I think I got 9th or 10th. It was 9th or 10th in a regional with it, and that was the best I could ever do, and my entire head hurt when I played it. So yeah, I don't recommend DDD if you don't like high skill intensive decks, and it definitely is one. So on my turn, I actually open up in game 2 the Wind Stone, Adamancipator, which is the Go engine, and then Researcher, Anti-Spell, and Reborn. So this is a really nice hand. I feel like the Wind Stone is the correct card to pitch, so I go for the Glove card. I'm not going to say that full name because it will really get on your nerves. And then Go Gigas is the other card I chose to grab. I think those are usually what you grab. It's either you grab that or you grab the Utopic card, the light card. But I feel like that card is a brick at times. So our normal summon glove and then special summon researcher, and then researcher is going to help me to absolutely grab nothing. And you can see by my choice of words that it just wasn't looking good. It was just a bad miss. So I go into Synchro for 6, and I go for Raptite. Raptite is probably the only play that I can do right here. And Raptite, hopefully I don't whiff twice, which is nearly impossible. I mean, if that happens to you, then it's just not your day. And I chose the greedy play. I could have picked the Analyzer, but I wanted to pick Doki Doki and then get Gigas into the graveyard and then grab the Researcher anyway. So it's like there's something for me to do. And then when I summon this card, I get to bring out gloves off of that effect, which gives me more monsters. Now, obviously, clearly, very clearly, I can walk right into a Nibiru. Let's just be honest. Yes, it can completely rob me of anything I was about to do. But I felt like he would have caught it right before I did the Gallant Granite, because he would have felt I had 4 monsters and had a real threat on the board. Yes, I'm trying out double summon. Don't mind that card. I'm just trying something out. But I go on to make Needle Fiber to special summon out Recovery, the Adamancipator sign to summon the Union Carrier and then attach it to the Recover. Then pull some plays back. Then I make Nat Beast, and then take the Block Dragon that was equipped and summon it completely off. It was just, I wasn't done, and I was going to keep comboing and comboing and comboing. And it was like, I'm going to set Anti-Spell. You don't have an out for the Dark Ruler, so you would have had to have opened something absolutely insane on top of on top of the Nibiru that I turned off anyway. So it was just like, it wasn't in the cards for him. In game 3, he completely shocked me because he went first. However, he kept Nibiru in his deck, which completely threw me for a loop because he made a pretty substantial board with the Gilgamesh and the Wave High King Caesar, which helps block me from being able to do certain things on my turn. But to back that up with the Nibiru is really, really strong. And if I had known that, I probably would have played my turn more conservatively. But obviously you see that I didn't, as you will see in a second. But yeah, he ends on the Gilgamesh, which Gilgamesh is absolutely insane. If this card is special summon, you can activate the effect, set the scale. You know, to be able to set the scales, pull cards back onto the field. Then he pendulum summon the 1 card, and then he made Siegfried. So like, this is a really, really solid opening. However, I'm like, man, that Siegfried, I need to get some kind of card to bait him out, and a Twin Twister is not gonna cut it. So as I go into my turn, I definitely was like, man, I hope I draw some kind of spell, some kind of something to make him bait the Siegfried, because Siegfried plus the setup that he has right now is really, really strong, having no idea, absolutely no idea that it wasn't going to go well for me after that. So I start for turn, and the perfect card, Adamancipator, which helps me double search. And I knew it was going to be the perfect bait because I knew he was going to have to stop the card from activating. So I go into my turn, activate Adamancipator, pitching the wind, which he stops with Siegfried. I normal summon the Kawaki Miru. Then I special summon Researcher, and I special summon Seeker first before doing anything else. I feel like I could have did something a little bit different here, but you know, it is what it is. So I synchro for 6, and then he tries to Wave King Caesar to stop that effect, and then I stop that with the Guardian. And this is where I feel like I misplayed. Probably should have let it go through, but at the same time, what are you going to do? I needed that effect to go through, and I get Nibiru'd, and that, as we say, folks, is closed curtains. I probably could have done something a little bit better, but hey, it is what it is. If you want to see more online duels, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Give us a request on matches you would like to see, and we can go from there. Until next time, I'm out. YG, baby.